If there's one thing world leaders have today, it is power. A lot of power. They are responsible for huge populations, control economies, and even head national militaries. With these many responsibilities, it's understandable that it is in a country's best interest to give their first citizen the best security money can buy. Among the many presidents, world leaders, and heads of state that are constantly surrounded by jaw-dropping security details, here are some of the most heavily guarded rulers of all time. 8. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, president of Turkey aside from being Turkey's 12th and current president. Recep Tayyip Erdogan has gained massive popularity worldwide because he seems to have a knack for making one or two powerful enemies every now and then. Being a veteran of Turkey politics, having climbed from mayorhood to the top as president, Erdogan always has something to say about everybody. However, he does that knowing he will be just fine because of his impressive security. President Erdogan always has an extensive 60-man bodyguard team surrounding him wherever he's on the go. And that is not all he has in order to stay protected. When he's out on a visit somewhere, there are at least 100 snipers positioned around, alert to any danger and always keeping him in sight. 100 snipers may seem like overkill already, but that's just an average day for the man. On the days that he might have higher threat levels, the number goes up to 3,000 snipers. Aside from showing up in alarmingly massive numbers, these snipers are well trained to the extent that they can notice someone's muscles move wrong, and if it does, that someone will most likely get hit just in case they meant to cause the president any type of harm. When President Erdogan is on the road, he is granted a security convoy that can only be described as excessive to there can be up to 12 luxury cars escorting the president. And of course, these vehicles are filled to the brim with his elite security team, who will spare no expense to ensure that the president is protected. President Erdogan's security detail can be so zealous to the point that they were willing to beat up American citizens, including women and children, U.S. Secret Service agents, and other security officers, for the sake of President Erdogan during a protest against him. As alarming as that sounds, it was not the only time this Turkish president's security detail would cause an international incident. Like their charge, the team members are not all too concerned about crossing anybody in order to achieve their sole goal, which is keeping Erdogan safe. This played out once again when Erdogan's security team clashed with Bosnia's border police because the former blatantly refused to hand over their weapons. Another thing you've probably figured out at this point is that President Erdogan's men are as well-armed and deadly as they are zealous. They use weapons like the Turkish-made Yavuz 16 weapons and the MPT-76, what the Turkish call the National Infantry Rifle. The Yavuz 16 is a standard gun of the Turkish armed forces, and nearly every security officer in the country, including Erdogan's bodyguards, the MPT-76, or the National Infantry Rifle, as it is fondly called, an effective range up to 600 meters and is capable of firing 600 rounds per minute at a muzzle velocity of 800 meters per second. With all that heat, Erdogan's security is packing enough power to take down a small army. It also helps that they are willing to do anything to protect their country's number one citizen. Number 7. Narendra Damodar Das Modi, Prime Minister of India. Although India still remains a third world country struggling to earn a place among the world powers, the country is actually doing a lot better than you might think, to the point that current Prime Minister Narendra Modi spends a whopping $48 million on security every year. That's around 10% more than it has ever been before. The Special Protection Group, or SPG for short, is a special operations force whose only objective is to provide proximate security to the Prime Minister of India and his family. Modi has over 3,000 well-trained men acting as his bodyguards, and for mobility, the group owns hundreds of vehicles, helicopters, drones, planes, and motorbikes, dedicated only to keeping the Prime Minister safe. Generally, SPG special agents assigned to Prime Ministerial Security Detail wear black, Western-style formal business suits with dark sunglasses, a two-way encrypted communication earpiece, and are typically armed with concealed handguns. On rare traditional occasions that could pop up, the agents wear safari suits to blend into the environment. As it turns out, SPG officers not only dress like Special Operations Commandos, they are just as well armed. Their equipment includes ultra-modern assault rifles, dark visor sunglasses with inbuilt communication earpieces, gloves, bulletproof vests, elbow pads, and knee pads. When the Prime Minister moves around the country, several roads are fully blocked for hours to let his massive convoy through. His convoy includes sophisticated vehicles that can ensure his protection, like the customized, armored variants of the standard 2015 BMW 760 long-wheelbase sedan. This vehicle is mainly used to transport Modi himself. The Prime Minister's motorcade also features at least 2 Mercedes-Maybach S650 guards, 3 armored BMW 7 Series sedans for armored Range Rovers, and at least 8 to 10 BMW X5s, 6 Toyota Fortuners or Land Cruisers, and at least 2 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter ambulances. A Tata Safari electronic countermeasures car also accompanies the convoy to counter guided and radio attacks. And besides that, there are many more escort vehicles, all serving a necessary function. The vehicles that carry Modi and his entourage are certified with VR-7 in the BRV 2009 ballistics protection ratings and can defend their occupants from anything ranging from landmine blast to machine gun fire. That alone should be enough. But there are even more additional security upgrades added to Modi's vehicles. These upgrades include undercarriage armor 3 inches thick, multi-layer laminated glass, and armor plating on the doors, roof, body pillars, front footwell, and rear bulkhead. The vehicles are also fitted with run-flat tires that can run deflated for kilometers and advanced heat sensors to ward off missiles and bombs. In the same vein, the fuel tanks are sealed with Kevlar to prevent explosions. Vehicles like Modi's Mercedes-Maybachs have their interiors turned into gas-proof chambers that can ensure fresh oxygen supply to its occupants in cases of chemical and biological attacks. Other features that have been reportedly added to the cars in the Prime Minister's convoy include an intercom system that enables easy communication between the passengers and the driver, an alarm system, a fire extinguisher with a temperature sensor, irritant gas sensors to warn of dangerous gases in the passenger area, and compartments to carry 2 machine guns in the center console. As you would expect, not only are the roads made safer with extra vigilance when Modi is traveling. When India's Prime Minister travels by air, he makes use of the Air India One, the code name given to any aircraft carrying the President, Vice President, or the Prime Minister of India. These flights are operated with 2 customized Boeing 777-300ER aircrafts that bear distinct national markings. The aircraft were built in the United States using a similar design to Air Force One, the official aircraft used to transport the U.S. President. Additionally, for domestic flights, Modi and his team have the option of shuffling between 4 14-seater Embraer 135 aircrafts and 3 customized 46-seater Boeing business jet BBJ 737s that feature VIP cabins. Proving yet again that he will go to any length to ensure his safety, Narendra Modi once used an Indian Air Force Lockheed C-130J during his visit to Sri Lanka, an aircraft more suited for waging war than protecting lives. Who do you think has the most extreme protection system in the world? And is that level of security truly necessary? Or does it reveal just how dangerous power can be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy stories about power, wealth, world leaders, and the hidden systems behind them, make sure to subscribe. Because the deeper you look into these worlds, the more unbelievable they become.